Hello again. Was there something you... Oh, Inez! You look, well, like you could use an ice bath and a cup of newly formulated trip teas. Has something happened?
Something has, all right. I ended my contract effective immediately. Now I'm free to prove myself to everyone in Auntie's Choice. My way.
Well, that's wonderful news. Or is it? I admit I'm still trying to work through what contracts mean hereabouts. But you do appear to be pleased, so I shall be pleased for you. Ah, that is not common knowledge in this town. But since Inez appears to trust you, I suppose I can do the same. Before I began my new illustrious career working with our tame, scarily friends here, I was a researcher in the Enhanced Soldier Division. Oh, I was on the verge of breakthrough when they shut us down. Oh, when I think of the lives I could have reached. But in my current role, I do try to help where I can.
Where my own first aid training can't reach, Doc's got me covered. The graft knocked me on my ass for weeks when I first got it. But she nursed me back to health.
Would if I could have done more.
Despite your insinuation, there are plenty of good folk around here, but perhaps not many with Doc's particular skill set.
I understand your reservation, but I do care deeply for all my patients. Inez has attested to it, and so can Copernicus here, when he is freshly fed. Where was I? Right. I have a lead, Inez. I've identified 2 viable beasts on this island that you may be compatible with, though it may not be easy to acquire the suitable specimens. Unfortunately, the beasts must be subdued, and due to the nature of the specimens we require for the procedure, sadly killed. I might add that these are powerful beasts indeed. The first candidate is the skeleton crabble. It has a rare form of albinism and was last spotted on the western coast by Protectorate scientists, who unfortunately went missing. I happened upon an old report of theirs along with a code used to operate their machinery. If their fate is what I suspect, the code may be of use to you.
I heard rumors of the creature myself. Our skeleton sounds a good bit larger than the average crabble. Meaner and smarter, too.
The second candidate is a Raptidon matriarch, the only one of her kind on the island as I understand it. She was last spotted in the crags near the Vox Relay.
Deep in Protectorate territory. This matriarch sure ain't making it easy for us. She'll be more aggressive and more cunning than her smaller kin.
When you breach the matriarch's lair, you must rouse her from hibernation. I found pheromones to be quite effective. Inez, I'm certain you know a formula that may suffice.
That I do.
Excellent. It'll be a rather unpleasant wake-up call for the matriarch, so she'll be upon you in moments. I suggest your armaments be at the ready. Then the grafting part is yours. Yes, though I would recommend a careful surgical removal of the specimens, please. Now, when you acquire one or both of these parts, return here straight away, and we can begin surgery. Law guide you both out there.
choose just any choice when you could choose Auntie's choice? Remember, Auntie knows best.
Yeah.
This stretch runs between Fairfield and the Eastern Forward Operating Base. North of here is an old abandoned chapel. Dang, I'll be charging for information.
Careful, friend. Reckon there might be a few...
Careful of friendly fire if you head down past the farm.
No, that's Auntie's.
Last time we wandered past, they opened fire on us. A real code for...
Oh, great. A 472. Been a while since I had to dodge bullets. Bullet spray.
Scout, report.
Yes, sir. Looks like the repair center is still out of order, sir.
Excellent. At ease, Scout. Glad to hear that they haven't managed to repair it, even if Command has temporarily put the actual fighting...
Those guards are mighty agitated. And some are wearing gas masks. Yeah, something ain't right here. We should be cautious.
plentiful. We have everything we need. We take a moment to rightly appreciate it all and thank the sovereign.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowest subject to the most exalted
Looks like the place. Lord, I haven't felt this high-strung since Horizon Point. Just hope he's here.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
Rectification required. You cannot improve perfection.
Niles. Has my mind been set upon by shadows? I thought you dead.
Can't imagine why you think that. I've only been gone 4 years.
Oh, back from your little saunter then, are you? Head all cleared? I must say you took quite the perambulation. I hope you didn't wear out your rotation adapters.
Zeb, this is the commander I told you about. One in charge of the Horizon Point mission.
So, you are keeping company these days. Just not mine. That would depend on what vision you have for Arcadia's future. Everyone seems to think they alone know what's best for this colony.
Look, I'm not just here to gas you up with empty apologies. I want to set things right between us.
Oh, now you want to help. Where were you when the war happened? Or when I was being carted off to mental refreshment? Where were you when I actually needed you?
I know I let you down before, but give me a chance to earn back your trust. There must be something I can lend you a hand with. I know you haven't given up the fight.
I haven't the time to patch your bleeding conscience, Niles. I'm in a situation that demands my full attention.
It's Baines. My team's been caught. Pharaoh and March are dead. Protectorate are holding the rest for interrogation. A ship is inbound to take us off-world, to the consul himself. I barely managed to evade capture. Damn it! It looks like the data went through, but there's something wrong with the connection. The cipher isn't transmitting.
Found her! You there! Step away from that terminal at once!
Audra! Fuck! It's all coming apart.
I knew something was wrong. What have you gotten yourself into here, Zeb?
That was one of my operatives. I organized a mission to infiltrate the Vox to acquire valuable intelligence. But obviously, something's gone wrong. Without that cipher, the intelligence is worthless. But I'm more concerned about my people at the moment. If you're sincere in your desire to help, prove it. Rescue my friends before that ship departs with them on board. Please. It has to do with the location of a vault rumored to house the Protectorate's greatest technological advancements, including its skip drive designs. That's all I'll say for now.
I am. Without question.
Okay. If they're sending a ship, that means my people are being held on the Vox's landing pad. Use my call sign so they'll know you for an ally. I'm certain Niles remembers it. And do exercise discretion, as well as caution. The guards at the Vox won't hesitate to fire upon you, should you be discovered.
Not to worry. This is exactly the sort of thing we're trained to handle.
Yes, but the uniform doesn't stop bullets, as I'm sure you recall.
Good thing we know a doctor then.
Then let's hope the ship also takes its time arriving, and that my friend's pain threshold withstands any attempts to soften them up for the consul. I'll answer what I can. stop there. I know what you would ask, but I've done my best to put that unpleasant experience behind me. Please respect my wish to avoid reopening closed wounds. The Crabbles? They keep people away who might otherwise stumble into my operation here. I feel kindly toward them. Ah, of course. Hogarth and his unfortunate charges would be top of mind if you've explored the nearby settlement. I sympathize with the plight of those in Westport. They want nothing to do with me, of course, or anyone outside the Sovereign's grace, which has been to my benefit. I do believe that one day, the truth of the Protector's iniquity will be too obvious to ignore. But for now, not even a crowbar could pry open all those shut eyes. If you must know, it was my sister. A neighbor reported her for some misconduct, and she was taken to be refreshed. I never heard what her alleged crime was meant to be. The woman who returned was nigh unrecognizable. The injustice of it rattled me. And once I began to look into what had happened, the more discomfort I felt. Then I met Niles. He told me the truth about other colonies. Made Arcadia feel so small, claustrophobic, repressive. And my smoldering resentments became a full conflagration. Do you always put your hands on other people's things?
Huh. Well, at least it's not shooting the water anymore. Visitors, huh? Just meandering about, free of any appointed minder? Not so sure I ought to be speaking with you. If you need someone to talk to hereabouts, I suggest you seek out Vigilant Hogarth. That tall, stately building back yonder is his domicile.
Hogarth. Milver Street reckons he's the key to converting this town. Let's bring him the good news of Auntie's choice, shall we?
Do hate to come off impolite. If you're so inclined, we can pick this up later, after you two confabulate. Word to the wise, despite what you might hear, we still consider ourselves part of the Protectorate. Anyone spots an outsider engaging in misdeeds might just open fire.
Minor disruption.
No, I just feel sad for them. It's even in their name. Auntie's choice.
Oh, don't take your meaning.
They don't have the balanced hand of a sovereign. Just a normal person would be random and perfect position.
Greetings. Indoctrinatory falsity. It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you to Westport, once a shining testament to Protectorate excellence, now a picturesque example of the evils of corporatism. But where are my manners? We do not have much, but please let me offer you some victuals. Tut. I insist. Serving Unit 1. Something for the visitor at once?
Confirmative.
Perhaps you're wondering why I'd open my arms thusly for a stranger. Simple. As the guiding light for humankind, we always put our best foot forward, regardless of circumstance. I believe something still can be done. This town can be saved, its people given a reprieve. Were we to acquire the one thing vital to our existence, automech parts. What?
Comestibles served.
We of the Protectorate pride ourselves on our mech programming. Among the vigilant, it is even considered something of a sport. We are not miracle workers, however. Without parts to work with, we've no hope of remaking our mechs to do tasks beyond their initial functions. We need repair mechs, domestic mechs, not combat ones. Serving Unit 1 here is about as much as can be accomplished without replacement parts.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate.
If I can return the settlement to a reasonable facsimile of its previous glory, sufficiently functioning by employing mechs reprogrammed to repair and rebuild, the Arbiters might see fit to penalize only me. Commute the others' sentences. Allow them to maintain things around here in the spirit of continuity and such.
Look around. If the Protectorate wanted to do right by you, you wouldn't be starving and wallowing in this metal quagmire. You want to help your people? Go to Fairfield.
Fairfield? Why, they're the reason we're in this mess. You'll forgive me for questioning such timely offers of generosity and kindness. No thank you, not interested. I owe it to every single person here to try.
Like those nettlesome rhapsodons, or the base individualists within
Nobody needs go anywhere. Not when we can still save Westport. We of the Protectorate endure as one, regardless of any hardships we must face. It'd have to be catastrophically obvious this place was doomed, and incontrovertibly beyond my means to save it, before I'd even consider such a recourse. When I look outside, I see people who are hardy and resilient, who trust the paradigm, who understand prosperity will return with time and group effort. I have the aid of key pillars of our community, several persons of note and good character who stand with and by me, and our town still functions. Our automechs are still running, mostly. We have a generator to power them, fresh water, the reassuring voice of everyone's neighbor Prudence wafts from our loudspeakers.
Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in...
Mock me if you must, but the matriarch herself made greatness out of little. I have a brighter future in mind for Westport, one you can help with, in fact, rather than dwelling on dark maybes and scenarios of worst imagining.
They sneer at our contentment.
I am unaccustomed to such talk. Don't take much to it. Though I will put aside my perturbation for the good of Westport. Let us talk plainly. What would it take to secure your aid? What sort of payment do you seek? Don't imagine we have much you need.
Depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dear.
Enough to lead and inspire those who work there, once at least. I was previously the ranking vigilant on this island. Why do you ask?
The paradigm affords us a perfect life of contentment and plenty. We have community.
Difficult place to saunter into. Station's off limits to anyone without the highest security clearance. For anyone lacking reason to be there, it's assured suicide. In exchange for the automech parts we need, I can provide you means to get inside. Never dream of such a proposal in days of reason and quietude. Yet such is the here and now we find ourselves in. Wonderful. My unavoidable march to the gallows feels lighter already. At least now my subjects will have a fleeting chance. The parts can be found at the Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center to the south. But do not, under any circumstances, tell those stationed there why you need them. To get inside, you will need an access pass from the Ministry of Accuracy. Since we have all been marked as traitors, I cannot create one for you here.
She recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and fauna.
Farewell now.
Atmosphere and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch working with and through...
Hey, Commander. Could I have a word with you real quick? I hope you're not seriously considering helping the Protectorate here. I know these folks seem on the down and out, but we're as like to do more harm than good by siding with them. I'm not in favor of one party over the other. It just worries me that we might be involving ourselves in something we have no business in. Right. Okay. Well, if we do as Milver Street's asked and convert the populace to Auntie's choice, they're more likely to get the care they need and not be sentenced to death. Milver Street also promised us a way into the Vox. Oh, and a Ritzy hat. Man drives a hard bargain, if he can be trusted. Reviving Westport would anger some folks back in Fairfield, but there's no question the Vigilant could help us get into the Vox station a whole heck of a lot easier. Your heart's rightly placed, Commander, but past experience has taught me that sometimes helping causes more harm than good. That's all I'm getting at. Given the condition of this place, I'd assume no shortage of willing spirits eager for a way out. But then, reason's sometimes hard to come by with the Protectorate. Before you make a decision one way or the other, let's ask around. See what the residents have to say. No use trying to lift up those attached to the muck.
Well, it's infected. Redstone are... You locked in here under your own steam and appear reasonably free of cuts, burns, or weeping lesions. So, I assume you're presently devoid of mortiferous injuries. Good. Because we've got more of that than we can handle. You haven't heard? When Antes invaded, they broke the seawall. Flooded nearly half the town below, where most of the domiciles were. A number of our subjects drowned. Others got concussed, or even crushed. A few were electrocuted or exposed to caustics. Took a while for our water purifier to catch up, so some drank tainted water, which is not good for you at all. I'm glad it's working again. Oh, we've all heard about Auntie's Choice grafting labs. Only cost you an arm and a leg. Oh, so I could profit greatly from the suffering of others, could I? No, thank you. Our way is to help those in need, so that we may all succeed together. The Protectorate provides assistance and guidance. We face tough times, sure, but the paradigm charts us a way through them. Each of us has a vital part to play. If we remain resolute, we'll have harmony and luxury. And that, my friend, is the truth of the matter. The blame for all our present ills rests squarely on the machinations of Auntie's Choice and their despicable saboteurs. Our beneficent leaders are without fault. Now, I'm afraid I've little time to school you further on such matters. If you've got any medical supplies to spare, please do consider donating them. Oh, no thank you. Not looking for anything that does more harm than good. I have enough ailments to manage already. From what I've heard about Auntie's medicaments, might poison a patient or cause them to grow an extra head or something. Never know what they're testing out on you.
My extra parts aren't side effects. That's your implication. And anyhow, I should think some minor side effects would be preferable to dying.
Honestly? Well, I'm a reasonable judge of character, and you seem upright. On behalf of my patients and I, thank you. We're all grateful. Guess outsiders aren't all just base individualists like they say on the wireless. Barring this being some tricky sales strategy, that is. This is a good start, but I fear it won't last long. Wouldn't happen to know a reliable means to procure more, would you? Oh, they'd just take us all in? Provide us with all the food and medicine and housing we'd ask for, would they? Doesn't align with how I've heard them depicted on the wireless. You almost make that sound reasonable, under a highly skewed, morally vacuous light. Not seeing a wealth of options here at present. I can watch my patients die, then face execution, or we can resettle elsewhere and remain alive. I lean toward the latter. The abandoned section of Westport ought to have some supplies. Should be enough medicaments down there to help our injured survive the trip to Fairfield. It's perilous, though. Plenty of the structures below are still submerged. Others, ones that escaped being flooded, got abandoned once the Crabbles moved in. Those ought to have some supplies. If I were you, I'd try to sneak past the Crabbles out there. They seem rather territorial of late. See you when I see you.
From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to
Almost missed the routine certitude of my assigned profession. Don't suppose you checked in with Vigilant Hogarth yet, eh? Oh, glad to hear. Probably sprung an important task on you afterwards, I'd wager. I mentioned to the Vigilant how I'd reset my chef mech to prepare meals to my liking. Next thing you know, he puts me in charge of repairing all the mechs in Westport. Not exactly. All the underlying logic's the same, if you mull it over. I've been trained to run them big algae processing units, which are a fair amount more complex. It's just... subjects are expected to mind their assigned area and particular forte. So I was a mite taken aback. But I am happy to help the system abide any way I am able. I assume those are approved Protectorate announcements, correct? With everyone's neighbor prudence and the like? I mean, sorry. Of course they are. Loudspeaker control terminal is in the proclamation station, a few structures over. One with the antenna. I suspect they go there. Not to indulge in idle talk, but things have been different around here of late. Not at all overwhelmed or terrified of dying, though, of course. The system abides. Much to do, truly. Toughest challenge now is upkeep of key apparatus. If that generator goes, for instance, doubt I have means to fix it. We lose power to charge our mechs, this place is done for. Final nail in the coffin, or similarly minded metaphor of your choosing. Not that the paradigm would allow that, of course. Even if I did ever fall prey to such treacherous whimsy, you think I'd be fool-headed enough to admit it to a stranger? Look like I've been kicked by an automech or something? I mean, void damn. Vigilant Hogarth's still here. No matter how bad it gets, keeps us going. Keeps us right. Folks like him prove the paradigm is aligned with the Architect's plan. Just gotta trust the rightful guidance of the Vigilance and the Sovereign. Funny. I reckon that's more true of them over in Fairfield. They love their substandard comestibles and lack of fellowship. Smacks a bit of conspicuous inveiglement to me. Sure feel sorry for them. Maybe someday after we, well, utterly crush their forces and disprove their bent philosophy, we can show them all a right, better way to live. You don't say. Huh. So it's only here with our, perfect society that it works our way. How, fortunate for us all to benefit from such judicious guidance. That's a right intriguing proposition. I do wonder what it's like to have a choice about things. If it weren't for Vigilant Hogarth, I do believe I'd scupper off to, well, you know where. Yeah. You convince him, I'm in. But I owe him enough I wouldn't abandon him for nothing.
To the most exalted Vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich natural resources represent a fascinating
on your command. Ain't nothing there. Let me know when you need a distraction.
Looks like a fight.
Give the order, and I'll take care of him, Commander. Not getting up without help, Commander. Knew you had my back. Appreciate a little help, Commander. Knew you had my back.
Armed and ready.
Guns cocked and loaded. Just give the signal.
Sit or sprint? Typical predicament for an anti-bottom runger like me. Wish I never snuck in here to begin with. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Nah, it was a great idea. So much stuff for the taking around here. Motherload of loot. Plenty to get me back in the sprag race. Just didn't account for all these crabbles. Real fly in the old ointment. I could just sit tight, live lean up all these supplies, hope the crabbles skedaddle. Or maybe open the door and bolt. Seems like a good idea. Nah, it's a great idea.
Natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex ecological devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty for all. Naturally, sometimes
Stranger? Don't know what we'd do if we didn't have you in the Vigilant looking out for us. Well now, that should do nicely. Thank you. Hope those Crabbles didn't give you too much trouble. I recognize these patients require more care than I'm able to provide here. Seems like in Fairfield, I can get them the help they require. The one last additional thing we'll need is for Vigilant Hogarth to agree to it. It's less a concern about disloyalty, and more my respect for his abilities. He's a skilled leader, and we could sorely use his aid, from coordinating logistics to keeping up morale. I'll surely have my hands full with my patients. His presence on the journey would save lives. All right, be careful out there.
Those pills were magnificent.
You returned.
Are they part of a new paradigm? Can I get enough for the whole family? Or even just the others?
Disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Literally everything I own is underwater. What do you mean? Everything we have belongs to the Sovereign. We own nothing. But surely the Protectorate will provide anything you need.
May the Sovereign guide you.
food is nutritious and plentiful. We have everything we need. Prudence dictates.
The Matriarch and Sovereign... appeared right out of the Aether. Just as I imagine our proud Sentinels do. Like, here I am, your innermost thoughts are known to me, and nobody once hears from you again. Caught me reciting passages from a beacon to the cosmos, illustrating my steadfast fidelity. All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign. That part always hits me directly. To quote my personal log, an essential passage, rightful and true. Charlton Weintrott. Oh, it's that, homespun metaphor. The Protectorate as a happy, attentive family, the Sovereign smiling beneficently at the head of the table, all such, so forth and the like.
A meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part...
Say, you are every bit you seem, yes? Thoroughly on the up and up and in no way a hidden agent? It is widely known that a Sentinel is required to stand revealed before rendering judgment. Why, a plot point about that featured prominently in the latest episode of I, Red Cloak.
Of course you believe everything on the Aether Wave. I guess it would be stranger if you didn't swallow the propaganda, even if it does take some heavy dramatic license.
Say now, no need to get tough. You saw through my ruse, fine. Others in Westport fail to perceive my true nature. I am hardly one of the herd around here. A reference you'll no doubt recognize from those keen Auntie's Choice commercials.
just to offset any minor disruption.
Ah, I am not familiar, though that does sound like one of their products. I refer to the ones for Purple Berry Crunch brand cereal. You likely guessed their influence right off, what with my assertive attitude and all. I laugh at danger. I hand make my own luck. That character is a revelation. You and I are just like him. Get up and go-getters. Say, did Auntie's Choice send you here? Don't fret, I am exceedingly skilled at keeping secrets.
All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative.
How I've waited to hear those words. Anything I might help with at present?
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Really? What was he like? Bold? Assertive? With a wildly obstreperous theatrical air?
Everyone knows the paradigm epitomizes the pinnacle of social order.
An audacious proposal. Yet this place, despite its recent humidity, remains comfortable and familiar.
Human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism
With a full case, I might gorge upon such sweet goodness morning, noon, and night. All right, hand it over. Oh, but what would Vigilant Hogarth say? What would everyone say? I can scarcely imagine it. Abandoning my community only to satisfy my gastronomical urges and risk-taking attitude. No, I couldn't leave unless Hogarth ordered everyone to go.
we sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious and plentiful.
Have they? Well then, Vigilant Hogarth should be a breeze for you to persuade. Though I can't recall anyone ever changing his mind about anything. Always a first time, maybe.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all...
Outsider? Well, look who it is. What is it? Speak your mind.
Chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich natural resources represent...
Thought you'd agreed to help us, not those corporate heathens. Not my favorite topic of discourse, but I do like the cut of your jib. Very well. State your piece.
Devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed...
But it's not everyone, is it? I'm sure it's not. The majority of my subjects are steadfastly loyal, resolute, right as rain.
Challenges do arise. We all know how invasive species can unbalance even the most robust ecosystem, like those...
Oh, I would love to argue that this is not the case, but I fear you are correct. This war, this devastation, it can't be denied they've taken their toll. Ultimately, I regard their well-being above all, but the joke is on you, really. And them, I suppose. Don't you see? We're all traitors. I no longer hold any authority over anyone. But if they still wish my blessing, it is theirs. My former subjects are free to live an empty life with Auntie's Choice. I'll make an announcement. Order them to depart for Fairfield. But I will be staying.
Are you mentally refreshed?
Should I? Haven't I failed them enough for one lifetime? No. I will stay here and loyally await the judgment I richly deserve.
Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure.
My former subjects jumped at the chance to abandon Westport. They don't need me.
Our enemies envy our prosperity.
I suppose my duty to my people remains, whether here or in Fairfield. All right. I'll go. Unsure how I'll endure such an empty existence. Perhaps, if I offer my old subjects periodic advice, our sense of community may somehow, despite the wiles of commercialism, remain. All right, then. Suppose it's time to make my announcement.
Ran rampant. Depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm, benevolent hand of the sovereign.
Attention, everyone. Attention. I, Vigilant Ogden Hogarth, hereby do order all subjects under my command to abandon the settlement of Westport at the earliest possible juncture. You are to depart for the township of Fairfield, safely and together. Once there, you are to appeal to local authorities for citizenship with Auntie's choice. Thereupon, you are thus and forevermore relieved of your duties as subjects of the Protectorate. This is a direct order from your Vigilant and is not to be questioned and cannot be countermanded. Now see to your preparations. I will join you shortly.
Introducing Auntie's new line of specialty drinks for the discerning consumer. Anti-Fizzle.
Sometimes I get the feeling we're not welcome here. Like the Protectorate folks resent us liberating them.
Whoever fixes this rift problem is definitely getting a whole-side suite with an Elysian view in head office town.
You've lifted my spirits right out of their doldrums. Our new guests have just arrived. Here, a considerable reward for your considerable efforts. Had anyone asked, I would have bet a year's pay against your capturing the hearts and minds of the denizens of Westport, and it seems I would have been out a great deal of bits. I've two minds about the convertees. Anyone with eyes can see they need guidance, but a pernicious system is not easily abandoned. Have you any thoughts? Trust will take time to build, time and patience. But that is an investment I am ready to make. You've given me a great deal to think about. I am in your debt. I cannot overstate what a capital compatriot you've been, my friend. Now be off. I've many refugees to see to. Plan is such a strong word. Let's call it a hunch. Consider this your first lesson in propaganda. Find whatever your target desires most and use it towards your own ends. Speak with Vigilant Hogarth in the building beside the saloon. He was in charge around here before we arrived. I have no doubt he knows vital information to the Vox's functioning. Now, should you ever find yourself visiting the ACS Undisputed Claim, do come see me. I've no doubt that when we next meet, I'll have risen 6 ranks, at least. Farewell.
choose just any choice when you could choose Auntie's choice. Remember, Auntie.
Eden's hinterlands would be more pleasant if Anthony airdropped them raptidons willy-nilly. Sure makes getting from A to B a pain.
Blame Spacer's choice. They're the ones who first weaponized the livestock in such a manner. Auntie just acquired and...
Oh, what's this? Non-protectorate personnel just sauntering up onto my porch, free as they please. Admit I'm accustomed to a higher standard of precaution. State your purpose, outsider, or exit yon way you came. Ah, I see you've discovered some of my misappropriated materials. Careful labeling proves prudent and useful yet again. Here, for your effort. A full set of Science Adventures Quarterly was stolen from me and sold to various unknown parties across the island. Since you've already proven adept at their repossession, I would put it to you to locate the rest. In exchange, I will provide you with rarities and bits. A form of manipulatory ideation disguised as popular entertainment, intended to sway the audience to their point of view, couched within just a crackingly exciting narrative. Specifically, an Earth Directorate periodical featuring beloved fictional characters Commander Zane and Buddy. An effective mental conditioning device. And right thrilling. It was a popular fiction periodical from not long ago. Each of its 10 volumes featured an exhilarating cover illustration depicting Zane and Buddy's thrilling exploits. Whether they faced automechanical industrialists or robber magnates from the Plutocrian kleptocracy, their tales remained invigorating thrill rides. The line represented a growth of the medium from the less sophisticated, two-bit dreadful, both in style and effectiveness. Its remarkable popularity not only mirrored a rise in public sentiment against greedy corporations and tyrannical governments across colonies. The brief window surrounding the volume's release saw a marked increase in skip drone requests for Earth Directorate aid. I believe there remains much to learn from them. Ah, quite right. In fact, delightful. I am pleased you are on the case, as it were. So very Zane and Buddy. Return again when you have another 4 volumes, and I will trade them for more valuable oddities. Stay true, outsider.